also I need to get something figured out in a bit here. I need to get something figured out. I don't remember last week's time off the top of my head. And so I got this big list of times here, you know, what we normally do. And so last week was week 13, but like this list was getting so long that I hid it. I hiddened it. I hiddened it last week because it was taking up too much space. It was 45 minutes something. Or I guess not last week. It was 2 weeks ago. I could just pull up. I could just go to videos. And let's see. Speedrun. Amy 2012, Amy percent personal best February 2018, and we'll watch, and I'll mute myself, and I'll just scroll to the very end, and personal best 45:15. Oh wait, no, 45:15, and we beat that. With 44:55. 44:55. Okay, and we'll also want that because that is so. Okay, we'll take that. And we'll hide the times again, and we will add text. Where's text? Image slideshow, Jack input client, media source scene, text, free type 2. There we go. Yeah, that'll be good enough. There we go. So we got those up. We got those up for references. We got those up for reference. It was barely under 45. It was barely under 45. Are there literally just 2 people speedrunning this game? More or less, yes. So, time frame on SGDQ. So, I'm actually gonna take off my sweater real quick. Before. One sec. It's a pullover. It's actually a fleece. It's not a sweater. What was I saying? Okay, so timeline on GDQ. The lineup will be announced on April 4th, which works out well for us because that's Speedrun Learning Curve Day. April 4th, that's a Wednesday. So that'll work out well. In that it will either be a great day of like riotous, raucous celebration, bacchanalian hedonism, or it'll be a really sad speed run of Amy where I probably like give up for like a week or something. We'll see how it pans out. I'm really excited for it. I'm really hopeful. I spent a lot of time second guessing myself the week while I was away in New Zealand. I was constantly worried about my submission, whether or not I had like worded it correctly. So I'll read you all now that it's too late for me to change anything. Now that it's too late. Okay, I want to show all entries. All right, so here's the pitch. So I put it as an hour for all of the reasons that we discussed before. Like I put my estimate as an hour. So the weird thing is that, so they tell you not to include time for setup, but then they also say give your estimated time from power on to last input. The thing being that with current and previous generation consoles, you know, it's not like a Super Nintendo where the time from power up to first input is, you know, a few seconds. Just getting the PS3 up and running and getting into Amy and getting, you know, getting the save game loaded is itself a couple minutes. So I was like, I don't know, we'll do literally what they said, and we'll go from power up. So I put it as an hour. And if, you know, I don't think they'll have too much issue there. So here's the pitch. Here's the description. Amy is a notoriously bad survival horror game with a reputation for being pointlessly difficult and obtuse. The run involves a fun mix of creative bugs, mechanical exploitation, and bad terrain. Despite the general jankiness, which helps makes it fun, and a couple risky moves, the run is very stable with extremely high completion rate and low spread between a great and a catastrophic run. On my side, I am putting a lot of effort into the run commentary as a tight, entertaining presentation. So that's my pitch, and I spent a lot of time worrying about that. I spent a lot of time fussing over it and wondering if I should pull it and replace it, but then I was reading many of the others, and you have a few in here that are like, let me see if I can find one of the ones that I saw. Let me keep from... Okay. Here's one. A very difficult SNES platformer. I can count the people who I've seen beat this on one hand. That's their entire pitch. Moto Racer 2 is a video game. You race a lot and stuff. Submitting as a race with faulty. That's their pitch. That's theirs. So I don't feel so bad. And actually, like, you know, I am intentionally pulling some of maybe the worst out. But so here's some of the random longer ones. Glover is a Nintendo 64 platformer where you play as a glove who must stop the evil glove from destroying Glove World. The run was last shown at AGDQ 2014, and since then has been pushed even further with the advent of barrier clipping, risky bounces, and flying chickens. All main levels is a category that best showcases the game's wacky nature. Over the course of 30 minutes, Glover will go from riding a chicken to end a level early to fighting a jetpack-toting dinosaur. This run has it all. So I think in the scope of things, mine is a lot more towards this I think really good Glover pitch. Like, that's a good pitch. They did a really good job. That was random, and that one's like, oh man, they got my interest. I want to see these barrier clips, and I want to see Glover riding a chicken. So I think this is a good Glover pitch. I feel like my pitch is maybe a little more towards that Glover pitch than towards the it's a racing game. So yeah. Stiff competition. I don't envy the programmers who are going to need the event programmers who are going to need to wade through all of that. There's a lot of really good competition in there. A lot of really good stuff. Hopefully. No, I want this one. Yes. Moto Racer 2 is a video game. You do racing and stuff. I need to stop looking at that. I'm just reading all of them. I'm just sitting here like reading them. Where was one that caught my eye? There's one that just says we won't use the night vision camera. All main story levels, no glitches. Basic run through all the levels in the game. I feel better. I read the bad ones. Because even though they're few and far between, they make me feel just a little bit better. That it's like, okay, someone out there put like 0 effort in. Here's one that just says listen, comma. Listen isn't even capitalized. It just says listen, comma. Wow. Yeah. Gets my listen. Listen. Where are we at? What are we doing? We're here to speedrun Amy. We are here to speedrun Amy, and I think a lot of people are here for some like hot goss. I don't know, like it was weird how that whole thread just kind of like started yesterday and then kept going and 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 is in fact still going. I mean, if I go check my Twitter right now, oh, it's only telling me like 2 notifications at the moment, but it's probably going to load like, yeah, they meant 2 pages. Yeah. Now, other actual thing issue. We should have access to quality. You should be able to get you should have quality options. Now, we are partner now. You should be able to select the quality that you want. And I'm looking at mine, and I'm able to see all the way down to 160p. So for those who have been asking, those who have been craving lower bandwidth, we should now have that as a baseline. You're welcome. That was literally for people who were asking, is like my options were either turn the quality down entirely for everyone or get partnered. So I went out and got myself partnered. Let's just let's hit start. We'll hit start, and then I'll ramble as we go. Sounds good? Sounds good to me. All right. This is Amy. 3, 2, 1, go. So this is Amy, released in 2012. It was developed by VectorCell, published by Lexis Numérique. Gotta skip that cutscene. Already losing a couple seconds because I was busy like holding my head up with my hand, looking all like bored, but like, intriguingly bored. I was doing this thing. I was in a pose. Poses are how you lose time. No, that whole chain with that guy with the glasses, Channel Awesome stuff. It just kind of kept going and going and going, and it was kind of great and cathartic. And it was really funny how more and more people kept jumping in over the course of the day. I mean, my personal direct experience with Channel Awesome from the behind the scenes was ultimately quite short-lived. Because so for those who don't know, I was on Channel Awesome when it was after it became Channel Awesome. So after the death and I think return of the Nostalgia Critic. I don't remember. I think he was back. I think he was back doing Nostalgia Critic. I think Doug was back doing Nostalgia Critic by the time I was brought on in 2014. 2014. The fall thereof, actually, and I losing time to second swings. So basically, I got my stuff. I got brought on with, it was one of the first waves of, you know, talent intake that they had done in like years. And they brought a whole bunch of us on kind of all at once, and it was all like provisional. It was very like, oh well, you know, 6-month trial period, and at the end of the day, like, that was utterly irrelevant because everyone that they brought on was is either, you know, still there or left of their own volition, and it had absolutely nothing to do with the actual like trial and review period. It's pretty funny in that regard. But so what wound up happening with me is I put up a couple of videos, like a couple of videos went up, and then the Gamergate video went up, and by went up I mean was up for about an hour before it was taken down. Before it was just outright taken down. And then in December, I published a expose on 8chan and basically Chan spaces in general, but 8chan in specific. Oh crap! I was standing wrong. All right, we're probably gonna restart this this run entirely in a bit here, since I've lost a bunch of time already to really stupid stuff. We'll just call this will just be the warm up. It's been a while. I was out of the country. I haven't played this in a bit. But so I published an article called "The Mods Are Always Asleep," and that drew a lot of ire from literally every scummy garbage corner of the internet. You know, Daily Stormer was talking about it, Kiwi Farms was talking about it, Baphomet was talking about it, 4chan, 8chan, you know, just every garbage hole on the net was like was gunning for that. And so they wound up, you know,
I mean, I always been a driver, but let's just say that, well, I used to work for some people with, fantastic. The juice is down. Now we'll be able to get through the grill.
Oh, I could have snuck. I could have squeezed. I could have squoze out. All right, we'll pick up Amy, and then we're just going to reset, because this is not going well. This is not going well. This is going the opposite of well. This is going bad. It's not going that bad, but it's going bad. It's going bad enough that we should probably start Amy. So we're Lana. We're not Amy. We're Lana. This is of course the game. Here's Amy. Here's Amy. That's Amy. That's Amy right there. The true villain of Amy is in fact Amy. Yeah. The friends call him Cello, and you can call him Cello because he's a friend. So this article goes up, and all of the creeps across the internet start gunning for it, and naturally they show up in like the comments of like basically everything on Channel Awesome to like, you know, just like spam about it. And so Mike Mashad calls other content producers to ask them, what is Dan doing? What's this article thing? Like basically calls them to complain before ever calling me. And eventually we had this conversation, and it was in typical Mashad style, where like he'll contact you and be like, okay, we need to have a conversation, and you'll be like, okay, and he'll be like, okay, I'm going to Skype call you in like 2 days between the hours of like 9 and 11, and you're like, what? Like, we're talking right now, can't we have this conversation at this moment? Like, we're here already. And you just kind of you're just like, okay, whatever. This is how he normally does stuff. Like, so he'll schedule when he's going to call you. It's cable repair rules basically for when Mishad will contact you, and so you just kind of have to like wait for him to Skype you between those times.
Wait for me with Marcello, Amy. I won't be
So call comes around, and it's, I don't want to say hostile, but it's just basically like, okay, this isn't really doing either of us any good. Like, I mean, from my perspective, it's like, okay, if you're gonna freak out over this, like if you're not gonna stand by me, like if you as a platform, as a, you know, content moderator, content distributor aren't going to stand by me on something like this, then like, all right, peace, bye. I don't really need you. I don't need a fair weather moderator who's gonna just like ghost the moment something gets hot, and someone who's just gonna be like, it's like, oh well, you know, you're causing too much trouble because, you know, you're forcing us to moderate our comments. I mean, that was actually basically the complaint, was that it was drawing the kind of attention that forced them to actually do something about their comment section. Oh, the chapter menu. I'm no good at. Oh man, we've also had like bad luck with all those jump scares too.
What's happened here? Amy, stick
But
closer.
good luck right there with not just like losing Amy's hand. Oh, come on. And then I say that too soon. And now we're just losing her on fences. Okay, all right. That's, yeah. All right. We're gonna. Oh, no. Reset. Discard. Okay. Mike, Mishad's he's just awful at his job. He's just really bad at it. He's just really, really bad at it. All right. Starting over. 3, 2, 1, go. So this is Amy, released in 2012, developed by Vector Cell and published by Lexus Numerique. It is a somewhat notoriously terrible survival horror game. Digital release. It is frequently rated as one of the worst games ever released for the PlayStation 3, though it was also available on Xbox Live, Xbox Live Arcade. I don't know. I don't really do Xbox, so I can't quite remember the setup there. But we're gonna be playing through it, and we're gonna be playing Lana, who is escorting the titular Amy through a post-apocalyptic wasteland of her own making. In that cutscene that we just skipped, we would have learned that Lana has kidnapped Amy from the Institute and is running away with her, and they're riding a train, and then there's an explosion out the window. And then in the span of about 30 minutes, a full-blown zombie apocalypse
Amy, where are you?
destroys the world.
What's going on?
So that's one of the things that I want you to keep in mind as we go through this, is that the inciting incident of this apocalypse was about a half hour ago. That was an unnecessary start because that is a cutscene you can't skip. You may notice that I did skip a cutscene before that, and the cutscene was Lana jumping down off of a ledge. This game is somewhat special in that it allows you to skip a number of cutscenes that you wouldn't expect for small things like climbing up and down ledges, going up and down ladders, but then doesn't allow you to skip many other cutscenes, the longer cutscenes that you would expect it to let you skip. It's a little special. The version that we're playing is the patched version. As dark as it is, you should know that this is the version that has been patched to be a little bit brighter and a little bit more visible. So we're going at a light jog right now. Lana has a hidden stamina meter that is invisible because it's hidden, because that's what that word means. Lana has a hidden stamina meter that prevents how long you can sprint for. It really only comes into play on a couple levels in the speed run. For the most part, we're not going to run into it, but it's one of the kind of the big frustrations here on Chapter 1. Chapter 1, we do more or less as intended. Like it goes pretty much how it would look in a casual run, you know, minus the exploration that would be a part of a casual run. But there's no skips. We do everything in order. We do it the way that you probably would. So if you look down at the bottom right, we have a little radar, and a number of pips have shown up on that. There's four little dots, four little pips on the radar. So Marcello just gave us a DNA cracker for the genetic lock, and we have 4 sources of DNA that we can go check out, and the correct answer is always the same, so it's just up here on the train, and we will scan that and then run back. And we're actually having pretty good luck so far. There is a very slight amount of RNG in the game. Basically, there's a number of jump scares that can randomly trigger, so like pictures falling off of walls, sparks coming out of electrical conduits, steam coming out of broken pipes, and there's a few extra zombies that can spawn and none of those are correct. Okay. Still, nope. Wow. Oh, that's not good. Let's just...
Please try again.
There we go.
Fantastic. The juice is down. Now
So that's a randomized mastermind puzzle. It can go better, it can go worse. That went a little bit worse than it can go. But so that probably cost us a bunch of the time that we saved by not having jump scares and not having a few of the bonus zombies spawn. Alright, now we're going to meet the titular Amy. She is our magical child. We'll talk a little bit about her representation a little bit later. But here we're going to get kind of a basic introduction to her as Marcello, as Lana explains to Marcello who and what Amy is.
She can't speak. She's not well. We need to push the button, Amy.
It just so happens that Amy not being able to speak is a lot cheaper than Amy being able to speak.
you just follow me.
All right. So we're going to put on this thing. It gives us a bit of UI information. It's essentially the diegetic justification for some information, but the presentation of it is actually not that helpful. The meter on our back actually tells us.
Let's see if we can solve
Okay.
this riddle.
At first instinct, you're going to assume that it's like, oh, well, this light on Lana's back, the one that's currently green, is going to indicate either her health or, you know, her infection level or something like that. But what it actually tells you is the current rate of infection of the area that you're in. So right now it's green, so we're in a safe area where our infection is not building up. The additional problem, or the problem in addition to that, with how kind of like, you know, vague that is, it only has 3 states. It's only like red, yellow, green. Is that yellow is actually an incredibly wide span. So there will be later in the game some yellow areas that will actually accrue infection incredibly quickly, while there will also be yellow areas that you can run around effectively forever. And I screwed that up. All right, dodge. There we go. I heard him, but I just kind of like ran right on past.
Such a brave girl.
All right,
We're
there we
getting
go.
out of here.
Get Amy's hand. We're gonna run on down to the far side. Oh man, we had so much luck earlier with the conduits and the jump scares and the bonus zombies and stuff, and then 2 jump scares in a row. Hopefully that one is overwritten by the current scene, the current cutscene. Nope. So she's still gonna do her little reaction animation right after we get out of the other animation. Come on. Come on, around the corner. There we go.
I tried all of them. Then I heard you calling out for the little girl. Not for a little girl.
There we go. Alright, come on Amy, grab her hand. Alright, now we maneuver around Marcello, who is the true antagonist of Amy.
Dear God.
Skip that
What's happened
cutscene.
here?
Grab Amy's hand again. Drag her down to the far side of the hallway. And accidentally hit start to skip a cutscene that we don't need to skip. And just lose Amy's hand. Come on. Come on, Amy. Grab our hand. There we go. Alright, so we need to run through this maze. It may look like we lost a bunch of time, but not actually. So we need to wait for Marcello to reach the end of the next hall anyway. So as long as we get down to the end of the hall before Marcello does, we're fine. So yeah, we're ahead of him. We're good. In fact, this might, yeah, this will work out because now we don't even need to wait for him. That just, it didn't save us any time. We just kind of caught up. All right. And now, come on, there we go. Through the door. Tell Amy to stand in place. Skip the ladder animation and send Amy up the elevator. Now we get to run into one of the, we're probably going to run into one of the more obnoxious sort of ways that the game layers commands.
So
All right,
proud of you, Amy.
we got
You did it.
in that. So, okay, we're good though. So Amy has that little. Nope, we're not good. Crap. She was just barely not there. Okay, so Amy has that reaction animation where she does her little hop, and it cancels any command that she was given. So that's bad on my part. That's my bad. I thought she was through the barrier and already on the elevator when she did her little hop, but she wasn't. She was still just barely on the edge. All right, what is that? That's 11 minutes. 11 minutes. Oh, that's no. That's bad. That's bad. That is a bad time. That's a bad time. We're gonna start. Oh, and then oh, Dan, what are you doing? And oh, frick. Oh God. Okay. All right. We're. Oh, I don't like that. I'm gonna take a drink. Oh, bad runs. Okay, all right. So, Cosper, I'm gonna respond to that. So Cosper asks, bad runs need to be practiced too, because what if these things will happen at GDQ? So that time was not actually bad for like GDQ. Like, it was slow, but it wasn't, killer. Nothing in there went like catastrophically wrong. It was just a really like not good time. One of the great things about Amy, and I mentioned this sort of in like my pitch to them, is that the difference between a catastrophic run and a really good run is reasonably tight. Like, I can finish the game below 55 minutes like 95% of the time. So it's more that, like, all right, in the sort of current context that we're doing things in right now, maybe let's try to push it. Let's try to push it a little bit, and actually, aim for better times. So I'm not terribly concerned about, like, oh well, it's 11:10 on the clock when we're rounding the corner to get back with Marcello. It's like, that's a bad time, but it's not going to, like, send the run just like careening off the rails. So yeah, so that's kind of the explanation of what's going on. Also, all right, here, let me just do something. Careful. Okay. All right, we're just gonna... Amy Cat. I remember earlier when I took off my pullover and I just kind of threw it on the ground. Well, Amy Cat decided to take up residence on top of it. She was on her pillow, and once I threw it down, she hopped down and just jumped up on top, just curled up on top of it, and has been there since. I thought y'all would enjoy that. Oh, hey, Bomber Guy. Welcome to my house of corn. I shouldn't be allowed to have nice things. Okay. My arms are kind of noodly from like holding the camera out like that. I needed to reach really far to do that. All right, we're loose. Whoa. Head rush. Whoa. What did I do? Okay. Okay, there we go. All right. 3, 2, 1, go. All right, this is Amy, published in 2012, released in 2012, developed by Vector Cell and published by Lexus Numérique. It is a French production headed by a man named Paul Cassette, who you may know from such hit games as Shaq Fu and Amy 2012. The story in the cutscene that we just skipped is that Lana, our main character who will be controlling our player character, Lana has absconded with the titular Amy from a place called the Institute, and they are currently riding a train into the city to see another character whose name I've forgotten, but she works at a hospital, and she's gonna check Amy out because Amy's got all kinds of weird things going on with her that we're gonna find out all about. And then, while they're riding the train, there is an explosion, and then we wake up a short time later. So one of the things that I want you to keep in mind as we're going through everything that you see as we're wandering through this post-apocalypse is that it has been about a half hour since the apocalypse happened. Everything that you see has evolved very recently. Very recently. My head is actually still swimming. I don't know what I did. Well, I think it was reaching for the camera. It was holding the camera out at arm's length like that for, oh man. Okay. So there's a couple kinds of enemies that we're going to be dealing with. They're basically all zombies, but right there, so far we have dealt with two of the most common kind of zombies, which are Steves. I don't remember why we called them Steves, but at some point we just started calling them Steves, and so they're all Steve. There's just a bunch of different flavors of Steve. So you got Denim Steve, you got Letterman Steve, you've got Super Steve, you got Cajun Steve, you got Fried Steve, you got Grilled Steve, you got Sweet and Sour Steve. Yeah, I think that's all. Oh wait, no, you got Steve Sandwiches, you got Steve Pitas, you got Steve Wraps, you got Steve on a Bun, you got Pulled Steve, you got Teriyaki Steve, you can do Steve Gumbo, you can do Steve on the Cob, Steve Dogs,
Here, take this.
Chili Steve.
Start by scanning the box with it.
All right. Marcello has finally caught up to us, and he's handed us this device that is a DNA cracker to crack open this genetic lock. Now, a number of pips have popped up on our little radar in the bottom right. There's 4 pips there. Now, fortunately, the answer to this little conundrum is always the same, so we just go onto the train here to scan the train conductor's DNA, and boah, the train conductor's body is gone. Oh, there he is. All right, we're just gonna push right on past him. We don't need to. I don't know. I guess you could fight him or something, but like, yeah, he's we don't need to. We don't need to. So now we're just gonna slowly jog back to the door because Lana's out of stamina. She actually has this hidden stamina meter that it runs out, and then you just have to jog. And we get our first mastermind puzzle of the game. Now you can hear the inputs. I'm actually able to start entering inputs before... crap. There we go. Every now and then, like, you just need to solve it. So there's patterns to solving it, but you can get luckier or unluckier. It's the little bit of it's probably the I don't want to say the main bit of randomization. There's 3 bits. There's three things that are random about the run. None of them is particularly significant on its own, but they add up. So the solution to the mastermind puzzles is 1, because we're going to need to do what was it, 2 or 3 of them. Oh crap! Just lost Amy on the cart. So the solution to the mastermind puzzles is 1 of them. Then there are a few zombies that can randomly spawn, so they might or might not be there. And, you know, each of those eats up a few seconds. And then there's all of the random jump scares where, like, pictures can fall off of the wall. There's... Oh.
We all need to get to the hospital.
No.
Why don't we try finding a phone first?
Oh, that was bad. I'm just... Tonight is not my night.
Bravo, Amy.
So there's all sorts of random jump scares, pictures falling off the wall, sparks sparking out of the wall, steaming out of the wall. It's very original and not at all repetitive, but like each one of those on its own doesn't really take up much time, but in aggregate, if you have bad luck with it, then it's like they just compound is the issue. 2 mastermind puzzles, 3 genetic locks. Okay.
Don't let it scare you, Amy.
Oh.
I got it from my last client. Can you believe that? A regular. I asked Mrs. Jenkins for my fare, and she up and sinks her teeth into me. 20 years I've been driving, and nobody ever bit me. Not even when I was driving the docks in Jersey.
Not even when he was driving the docks in Jersey. All right, next line, the door opens. From Mrs. Jenkins, door opens. Crashing into the station, door opens. Door opens. Any day now, door can open and get me away from Marcello, and there's one of our jump scares. Just random, just eats up.
Wait for me with Marcello.
It just eats up a little bit of time. All right, so these wall shuffles here, they're particularly obnoxious. There's a few of them. There's one in particular coming up in Chapter 4 that's going to be an awful lot of fun. All right, so this guy's Super Steve in that he's slightly tougher than a regular Steve. And we got a little bit unlucky because Super Steve decided to dodge one of our hits, so we had to go another round with him. Shame. Shame.
They started mowing these monsters down. Just my luck. I get knocked on the head running for a newsstand. I wakes up, buried in magazines and newspapers, and I see that everybody been evacuated. Everybody but me, that is.
Push the button, Amy.
These soldiers locked all the
Push the button, Amy.
doors when they left. I heard you calling out for the little girl. I said to myself,
all right, that went well. That actually went well. All right, I think we just recovered a bunch of time there.
Dear God, what's happened here? Amy, stick close to me.
run for it!
No, come on, Amy, grab my hand. Come on, Amy, come on, grab my hand. There we go. All right, so it may look like I lost a bit of time there, but I actually didn't because this... Well, okay, actually now I'm losing time. All right, crap. Come on. I went the wrong way. So this little chain link maze here, which is not that complex of a maze, and yet I screwed it up. We basically just need to get to the end of this hall before Marcello, and we're not going to do that, so we're actually like a little bit behind where we should be. Not much, because we still need to wait for him to get to the end of the hall and turn around, because the game is really well done and everything triggers in a logical progression. But we basically we lost that, like, just that little bit. We lost that little bit.
I'm so proud of you, Amy. You did it.
Okay, that went a lot better that time. Because that time we were able to use the button pushing cutscene to short circuit Amy's little celebration jump, and coming around the corner at 10:42. That's way better. There we go. That's
You
more
two
what I'm
stand
looking
back
for.
now. I'll take care of this. We're not sick. They's gonna see that.
Marcello,
All
we
right.
don't know who they are yet.
Hush now. It'll be okay. You two hide, just in case it goes wrong.
Crap. Not quite a personal best, but
Hello there. I'm alive. I'm not sick. Just a little beat up. I'm not infected.
there we go. That's not bad at all. That's not bad. All right. Arrival was great. I disagree with you, Mabel Zamboni. Arrival was great. Its execution was excellent. It was very entertaining. A lot of people feel like it compares negatively to the book, and I can understand that, but taken on its own merits, the film is still quite excellent. So I'm sorry. I'm sorry that your opinion is wrong. All right, so moving on to chapter 2, Amy has run away from us, and we're going to get some like hot speed tech here, in that if we are jogging, when we walk over things that we can pick up, we skip the picking up animation, so we can pick them up instantly. So like that key card, we didn't need to bend down and pick up the key card, we just needed to pick up the key card. All right, and now we need to get Amy out of here. And this is going to be the main thing that we're going to be doing in Chapter 2 here, is we're going to be hitting checkpoints and we're going to be instantly reloading. And so what the main thing that that's going to let us do, or there's two main things that that's going to let us do. What it's letting us do this time is we're just kind of skipping a little conversation, a cutscene conversation that is longer than the loading animation. So now this ogre comes out, and we're supposed to go hide from it, but instead we're just gonna kind of like run right on past it, and we went fast enough that it wouldn't actually let me open that door. All right, speed tech, running, picking up the stick, not needing to bend down to pick up the stick. All right, so we're probably fast enough that we need to slow down a bit. Otherwise, if we come around the corner and the ogre is still there... Okay, we're good. Oh, we're actually behind. Okay, we're actually behind now. All right, so coming up, this is our second kind of enemy. These are our Jareds, and here I am hitting buttons and just swinging at nothing and losing time to absolutely nothing. Oh. So the fight mechanics are basically just like hope they don't dodge. Because dodging wastes your swing, and then you'll probably need to like dodge to counter their follow-up swing if they dodged. And yeah, it's really tight combat and super engaging.
That's a good girl. Bravo.
So, that ogre, that's the only one that we see, and that's the last time that we see it. It's actually just kind of standing around the corner right now, just standing there, doing nothing. So that right there is a puzzle. It's supposed to be a stealth puzzle. You're supposed to use one of Amy's powers to get past it, but you don't need to. You can just run past it and then reload at the checkpoint. And so this checkpoint is actually a buffer between world chunks. So it was like the previous airlock sort of hacking game, was unloading the previous part of the level and then loading the next part. And by loading from the checkpoint, we actually load into the level before most of it has loaded. And that goes very quickly between those two checkpoints. So what we did there was we just bypassed a puzzle, because by getting to the genetic lock, the game assumes that we have done the necessary puzzles to gain access to it, so it just gives us the results. And by reloading at the checkpoint, everything goes back to the expected state, so the soldier that was waiting there to insta-kill us is no longer there. These laser mines coming up, you are supposed to walk very, very slowly through them. It took us about an hour to figure that out the first time that we played, and then we later figured out that you can, in fact, just run through them at full speed.
It's time to have some fun, Amy. Let's see if you can solve this riddle.
So here's another chunk where it's loading a world chunk and unloading the previous one. This one, unfortunately, we need to wait for. It's not a it's not a checkpoint, so we'll just have to wait through the whole thing. There's a bunch of RNG in this room. It looks like we got lucky with at least part of it. There is a Jared who can spawn right there next to the window, and there's another one that can spawn over here, and it looks like neither of them spawned, which is good for us, because that is faster. All right, now Pastor John's going to come on the PA. Unfortunately, we have routed most of his speech out, which is sad, because it's actually like really entertaining in just a very hammy B-movie sort of way. But we're going to get here, we're going to get Amy back into the airlock, we're going to hit checkpoint, and we're going to reload, and that will unfortunately cancel the rest of Pastor John's speech. All right, so we don't really need Amy again for the rest of the level. So we're just gonna start abandoning her. So we'll run through all of that. We'll zip down this way. We're gonna quickly just beat that super weak Jared in order to prevent a cutscene from triggering, because we missed the door.
DNA match. Access graph.
All right, and we'll hit that checkpoint, and by reloading at this checkpoint, it's going to give us a item that we wouldn't otherwise have.
John, the scrambler in the server room is starting to show signs of wear and tear. Go take a look at it, will you? Now we just need to find that server room, Amy.
So there's a puzzle to get the orange key card, which we need to open this door right here, but we bypassed the steps that would be needed to do that, and so we didn't need to do that. Alright, I'm gonna stop at that point in the hallway and just heal so that I can safely get through. And end of chapter 2. Chapter 2 goes very, very quickly. I really like it. It's really dense. Chapter 3 is going to be a little bit more of a slog. There's some fun stuff in the back half of chapter 3, but the front half is still is a bit of a grind, which is unfortunate. That was actually, I got a little crown. That was apparently my personal best, chapter 2. And on our overall time, we recovered 2 seconds. We went from being plus 13 to plus 11. So, yay. There are 2 weapons in this game, Glum Baron. There is the stick and the crowbar.
Ellen's cut
Ellen, there's our friend's name. They were headed to meet. In particular, I love how she just said Ellen is cut off, and then Ellen immediately comes on and starts talking to us. Okay, so now Amy has psychic powers, which she just does. This is the only psychic power that you'll get to see. You'll get to see it a bit in the run, but the other one, she only has 2 powers. The other one has been routed out entirely, and I hit that button a little bit too fast. Okay. All right. Send Amy back up. So this is a yellow area. If you remember, we talked about the indicator on Lana's back. All right, now we get this nice long obstacle to cross. Woo! 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 Yeah! Crossing the obstacle! Alright, done. Down the ladder, skip the ladder. That ladder can actually glitch out on you and it'll play the camera motion. Well, like it'll teleport Lana to the bottom of the ladder, but then it'll still play the camera motion. So the camera will like follow Lana down the ladder, but there's no Lana on the ladder. It's kind of funny. Also waiting. Oh, that's bad. Okay. Ah, crap. Come on. Ah, frick. My frame rate tanked for a second there, and everything went to crap. But it should be fine, because we just... Because we're going to heal in a second here. Oh no, no, no. Well, that just wasted like 10 seconds. Okay. So much for recovering.
Should be able to cut off the security system. Ellen, it's me. From developing. I think they're metastims. The Phoenix soldiers are equipped with them.
You've been shooting yourself up with those? How many did you take? You must be wired up like a Christmas tree, Lana. Listen, your sleep cycle is going to be seriously
They
out
were
of
waiting
whack.
for me. Damn, sleep is the last thing on my mind right now. Have you learned anything?
That killed a bunch of my energy. That killed my hype. Killed my flow. Alright. So, we get into some of the obnoxious stuff. Hopefully this will go well for us where we can bait. So ideally we can hit a zombie while also baiting them into taking a swing for us so that they will take 2 hits and thus die. Like that. Oh, oh, oh. There we go. All right, we're good.
I'm so sorry to put you through all so brave.
Alright, our health's really low, but we're at Amy now, and Amy heals us. I guess I haven't mentioned that yet, but because we haven't really had to deal with infection or damage up to this point, because we just kind of bypass it. Alright, so we need to go back down, but we're just gonna hop. We're just gonna hop the edge. And then we're gonna miss the thing that we're trying to click on, and just lose a little bit of time to that. You know, lose a little bit of time to this, lose a little bit of time to that. You know how it goes. You want to just like slowly chip away at your personal best as you go through the game. That's the real key to winning. Is that you don't want to make like singular catastrophic failures. You just want to lose, you know, a little bit here, a little bit there. Nothing so bad that you're like, I should probably reset the run. Just the little things. Just the little things that are like, it's like, okay, well that sucks. Come on. All right. There we go. I swear this game is going to just like utterly destroy the R1 button on my PS3 controller, because you have to like hold it down. You have to hold down R1 and L1 so much in this game, because we need to actively grip Amy's hand. Alright. Okay, we're good.
Developing any symptoms?
Amy's telekinetic powers are increasing, Ellen.
Oh, we
They're
even
more
made it through
powerful
that
than
door
arrest
well.
scores in the center, by at least a...
Come on.
To understand what's been done first.
No, it's the...
No!
Well,
Crap.
it heals me every
Ah, what did that hit?
Cure for the virus.
What did that hit? Ah. Okay, well, that one actually screws us up pretty bad. 'Cause, all right, we just lost like 3 minutes. So, yeah, all right. I'll go back to checkpoint. No, too late. Too late, Vex. Too late. You gotta be faster with that stuff. I'm impulsive. I'm impulsive and bad at this. I'm impulsive and bad at this. I'm impulsive and bad at this, Vex. You get to stand by and watch me be a failure. You get to no, drink it in. Drink in my failure. Drink it in. All right, 3, 2, 1, go. Hey everybody, I hope you like Marcello. So this is Amy, released in 2012, developed by Vector Cell, published by Lexus Numerique. The lead developer on this was Paul Cossette, who you may know from such hit games as Shaq Fu. Oh, bicycle kicks, low blow. You got to be faster with that stuff. I mean, we could say the same to you. That's going for the throat. I like it. Is it gonna play the cinematic? Did I skip the cinematic fast enough? I mean, we're at like... It should be like 1:11. Yeah, okay. I just skipped the cinematic so fast I didn't even see it.
Where are you? Oh my God. What's
All right.
going on?
I'm gonna kind of focus a little bit. Let's go for time. The commentary's going well. Is there a speedrun app you bind to keyboard buttons? I guess if you're actually good at this, like if you're good at doing splits and stuff, I'm actually running a... Oh, I didn't kill that guy. Oh, I'm gonna have to kill him on the way back.
Amy.
Yeah.
Amy?
Well, we're already out of stamina.
It's me, Lana.
Hey there, man. You ain't eating me.
Oh, come on.
It's nice
There we go.
really wants to find you. So we can all go on and get away from all these monsters. It's the only way out.
I wonder if that... Okay, we didn't get the second guy. I wonder if that prevents the second guy from spawning. That might actually be optimal in that it creates consistency? No, it wouldn't be, because you can normally kill the second guy before Marcello ever interacts with him. Anyway. I don't know. I mean, yeah, you want to kill him. Yeah, you probably want to kill him first.
Damn, another genetic lock. Here, take this.
Take the genetic
DNA
lock.
cracker.
DNA
Stop
cracker.
scanning the box
We're
with
gonna crack open your DNA.
Okay, look at the dots on the radar. Please.
Alright, down the hallway, get the blood, scan that DNA. Accepted. I like how Marcello's providing us with this running commentary, even though he's on, like, he doesn't even come into the train car. Like, he can't come into the train car, so, yeah. Oh, come on, there we go. Like, he even if you wait for him, he can't come onto the train car. So that little commentary about, like, there we go, we got it. He's not there.
Access granted.
Frick.
Fantastic.
I'm getting
The
just,
juice is
like,
down. Now we'll
awful,
be able to
awful
get to
luck
the grill.
with those tonight. Like, it's just been terrible. This, like, I've gotten, like, I think once I've done that tonight and gotten even a single check mark on the first attempt. Oh, and then I tapped instead of holding. Alright. Yeah.
Amy.
Alright. Come on, Amy. Grab my hand. Come on, Amy. Come on, Amy. Grab my hand. Amy. Ah, frick. You're grabbing the wrong hand. It's gonna be pain in the ass to get you out of here. There we go.
Hello there, Amy.
The real antagonist of Amy is doorways
You can call me Jello 'cause you
and navigating Amy through doorways.
lady. I've been looking all over for you. You's a brave little girl. How'd you manage to hide from all these monsters? Huh?
She can't speak. She's not well. We push the button, Amy.
Hey, we all needs to get to the hospital, lady. Why don't we try finding a
You
phone
did it!
first?
Bravo,
I know where
Amy!
There's a whole bunch of them. Come on, you just follow me.
Come on. There we go.
It's time to have some fun, Amy.
Let's see if you can solve this riddle. Oh, this little scratch? Don't let it scare you, Amy. I got it from my last client. Can you believe that? A regular. I asked Miss James for my fare, and she up and sinks her teeth into me. 20 years I've been drying, and nobody ever bit me. Not even when I was driving the docks in Jersey. Do we get away from Mrs. Jenkins, then a train comes crashing into the station. Talk about a bad day.
I'm so proud of you, Amy. Wait for me with Marcello, Amy. I won't be long.
All right, do we got a Super Steve around the corner? We do have a Super Steve around the corner. All right, we're gonna take care of him good and proper this time. That's right, Super Steve. Not so super now, are ya? I resent Super
Brave
Steve.
girl. We're getting out of here.
Oh, I resent that electrical panel. Just another reminder that all of this has happened in like the last half hour. See, like Marcello right now, he's telling us about everything that happened. So he got bit. Wait, I don't know.
These soldiers locked all the
Oh,
doors when they left.
come on.
You can't get out. I tried all of them.
Push the button.
Then I
Amy.
heard you calling out for the little girl.
I thought no monster be calling out for a little girl. Where the hell are we? There we are. All right, Marcello, are you back to standing in our way? You are. There we go. The real antagonist of Amy, Marcello.
Dear
No, I take that back. The real
What's happened
antagonist
here?
is these cutscenes that force you to let go of Amy's hand. That's one's not a cutscene you can skip. All right. Come on. No, come on. Come on. There we go. I almost went the wrong way again. How is it that I've run this maze like 50 times and all of a sudden out of nowhere, I'm going the wrong way. I am impulsively going the wrong way.
At the end of the hall, turn left.
And then we ran out of stamina and got caught on some junk and lost a bunch of time. Story of my... Come on. Oh, frick. Oh, I hate this. I hate this so much. Come on, Amy.
Boy, smart enough to beat Cello with his magic
Come on.
key.
Come on, grab my hand. There we go. Oh, I hate this. I hate this so much. I'm so full of hate right now. I hate this game. I hate it. I hate it so much right now. I just want to burn it. Just every little thing. Just... Is Amy even on? Amy, are you even... Where are you? Amy? Where the hell are you? Are you... Amy! Amy! Why aren't you on the elevator, Amy? Amy! Amy! Why aren't you on the elevator? I put you on the elevator. Amy! Bad Amy! Bad! Bad Amy! I hate you so much. I hate you. Who's looking forward? to the docks in Jersey. Three, two, one, go. All right. This is Amy, released in 2012, developed by Vector Cell, and published by Lexis Numerique. You can skip the checkpoint reload in the last leg of Chapter 2. Wait, why do I do that chapter reload? I'm trying to remember why I do that chapter reload. I remember there was a reason for it. Or wait, by killing the zombie, you kill the cutscene and it stops the gate from going down. Oh, so then you just need to push past... Oh, so you can just run back out. You can just get the blue key card, run back out. Oh. Okay, I'm going to try that. We'll do it live. I've never tried it before. We'll see how it goes. We'll see where it goes wrong. I don't know, Lana. I don't know what's going on. Okay, no, that's not true. Lana, I know what's going on. The problem isn't that I don't know what's going on. The problem is that it doesn't make sense, Lana. None of this makes sense. Like, are these zombies infected? Or is it like, you know, hell has overflown and there's some like cult like unleashing zombies? I mean, because they got these glowing symbols on their foreheads, but it's also like a blood infection that can be cured with just like, you know, drugs that you pump into your vein. Which is it, Lana? Why is it both? It can't be both. That's bad storytelling, Lana. It's bad storytelling. You got to pick one. You can't have it all. And like, so the zombie outbreak was just already going when you were leaving the center? Is that what was happening? Or did all of this happen since your train crashed? Because we were watching the cutscene and like, you know, there's the big explosion and it seems to be the first thing that like anybody's noticed about what's going on.
Amy, this nice lady here really wants to find you. So we can all go on and get away from all these monsters. It's the only way out of here. We need to find a way to cut the power.
I personally died in that crane crash, and now I'm stuck here. I'm stuck in Amy. I am stuck in Paul Cassette's unfinished idea bucket. Come on. All right, Cello. Come on, Cello. Give me the genetic. Give me the DNA cracker. I need your DNA cracker. I'm gonna scan the box with your DNA cracker, and then we're gonna go get ourselves some DNA.
Okay, look at the dots of the radar light up.
I'm just gonna run away from you. I don't want to listen to you. I don't like you, Cello. No one likes you. Maybe Paul Cassette likes you. I shouldn't say nobody likes you. The person, I don't know, somebody might like you. I'm sorry I said that. Marcello. It was inappropriate. I lost my temper. I said some things I now regret. I'm sure somebody likes you. It's not me though. I don't like you. Somebody likes you, but it's not me. Sorry about that. If you could find some way to like glitch yourself out of the run, that'd be just baller. I would maybe actually like you if you could glitch yourself out of this run entirely.
fantastic. The juice is down. Now we'll be able to get through the grill.
I'll take out my aggression on this Steve. Bad Steve. Open the door. Open the gate. Open the gate. The power's down for the gate, but we still need to use the switch to open the gate, and the gate's still sparking. The power's down, but the gate's still sparking. Don't think about it too much. Don't think about it too much. Don't even ask why there's an electrified fence on the platform. So that whole fence is electrified. If you touch it, you get damaged. All right. Okay, there we go. And like, look, that's just the platform. Like, that's just the train platform. This is a public space. It tells you a lot about the dystopia that this game takes place in. That they'd just be like, oh yeah, we just put a lethally electrified fence on the platform of a train station, and that's fine. That's acceptable.
Why don't we try finding a phone first?
You did it!
I know where there's a whole
Bravo,
bunch of-
Amy!
Come on, you just follow me.
Yeah, we're trying to find a payphone. Okay, this actually, all right. It gets really funny because, so, all right, remind me in chapter 2. Remind me when we get to chapter 2 to spend a bunch of time talking about the phones and the payphone. All right, Marcello, let's do it. This little scratch, don't let it scare you, Amy. I got it from my last client. Can you believe that? A regular. I asked Miss Jenkins for my fare, and she up and sinks her teeth into me. 20 years I've been driving, and nobody ever bit me. Not even when I was driving the docks in Jersey.
No sooner do I get away from Mrs. Jenkins when
I want to get away from you. I want to get away from you. Talk about a bad day.
So proud of you, Amy. You did it.
We're almost there.
Wait for me with Marcello, Amy. I won't be long.
Yeah, so I guess people were already infected beforehand. I got it. I don't know. But he's not infected. Come on, Super Steve. 1, 2, 3. Super Steve down.
Amy, you're such a brave girl. We're getting out of here.
Then these army soldiers started showing up. Phoenix. They started mowing these monsters down. Just my luck. I get knocked on the head running for a newsstand. I wakes up, buried in magazines and newspapers, and I see that everybody been evacuated. Everybody but me, that is.
Push the
But
button, Amy.
monsters. These soldiers locked all the freaking doors when they... Then I heard you calling out for the little girl. I said to myself, no monster be calling out for a little girl.
I don't know, Marcello. I can think of a specific kind of monster that would be calling out for a little girl.
Dear God.
Think
What's
before you
happened
speak,
here?
Marcello. Think before you
Stay
speak.
close to me.
Run for it!
Hey, I didn't try to go the wrong way again, and I didn't get caught up on a whole bunch of garbage. And we're actually going to have to wait for Marcello at the end of the hall, like normal. I'm good at this game. No, come on. Out of my way. All right.
Here we are. No door is smart enough to beat Jello.
I love how
Key.
I love how Marcello just spent all of this time complaining about the doors being locked. And Amy, frickin' Amy, what the frick? Frickety frick, Amy. Frick, Amy. Frick. Frickety frick. Stay. Stop falling off the elevator.
I'm so proud of you, Amy. You did it.
Insult to injury.
There are soldiers in the area. I'm gonna see if we can get some help. You two stand back now. I'll take care of this. We're not sick. They's gonna see that.
Marcello, we don't know who they are yet.
Hush now. It'll be okay. You two hide just in case it goes wrong. Hello there. I'm alive. I'm not sick. Just a little beat up.
I'm not infected. Split. I know you will all be just devastated to learn that Marcello died in that brief flash of white that I just skipped past. I'll talk about the phones. I need to talk about the phone. Oh, man. Okay, so Marcello is like, he says, like, oh, I know where there's a whole bunch of phones. And so we work our way through to here, and then all of this stuff happens. And then we finally find a phone. So we'll get through a door, and we'll hit a cutscene. We won't be able to skip it, but you'll hear, we'll replay that soundbite. Like, I know where there's a whole bunch of phones. And then you'll go to the phone, and you will assume, story-wise, that you're going to use the phone to, like, contact someone. But what happens is you use the phone, and it just starts ringing, and then a soldier that you snuck past, so you, like, sneak past a soldier in a security room, you use the phone, it just starts ringing, and then the soldier comes out and shoots you. Now, this is actually part of the puzzle, sort of, like, you're supposed to use the phone to lure the soldier out, but it's really funny that they replay that whole Marcello bit where he's like, I know where we can find lots of phones. Because the phone that you find and use has nothing to do with that story beat. All right. Come on, Ogre. Oh. I was like, okay, I'm going too fast. Can I get up to the edge? And then it just like walked another 3 feet. It's like, okay. She just kept going. She just kept walking. I like stopped walking. She just kept walking. It's like, oh. Alright. It looked like I slipped on a puddle. No, that was pure visual. That had nothing to do with anything. Come on, Amy. Come on. Grab my hand. There we go. Oh, lost Amy again. No, Amy. All right, so that right there is a... It's been happening... It doesn't normally happen. Or, sorry, it hasn't been happening for a while, but now it's suddenly happening again. One of the main things that we used to lose Amy to, like that we would drop Amy to, is when we were playing on New Game. Whenever if the frame rate drops enough, you drop Amy. Like you lose your grip. So if the game stutters, if your camera is at the wrong angle and it's trying to render too much garbage as you're running, it'll stutter and you'll just lose your grip. It's fantastic. Come on. Every little cutscene, no matter how tiny, forces you to drop hands with Amy. It's why the back half of this is a lot better. I know where there's a whole bunch of phones, and...
We're real close. We're going to call Ellen for some help.
Oh, frick. I'm losing my focus. We're just going to go through this one hell or high water. We're just going to see how this run goes. Even if it goes just, like, poorly. It's like, all right, how bad can it get if just off?
Connect yourself to the terminal. We need to find a way to open it up.
I hope you like that noise. I love it.
Amy, you're such a brave girl. We're getting out of here.
These words from the great book seem truly appropriate today. For the great day of his wrath is
So really the tricky thing, all right, so we got to remember to do, to try this live. So kind of the main really tricky thing is managing all of the different, just really garbage movement. Like it's really imprecise. You need to, so when you're holding Amy's hand, you pivot around this really weird spot off to the side, like you actually pivot around Amy.
DNA match. Access granted.
John, the scrambler in the server room is starting to show signs of wear and tear. Go take a look at it, will you? Now we just need to find that server room, Amy. We're going to cut the scrambler, and then we can call out. A scrambler is a machine that jams signals. Let's go. I'll show you.
You know what? I don't know. Okay, I should have stopped and used a health stim there, but I don't know if I actually grabbed one. No, there's 2 soldiers. Okay. Yeah, we just lost Amy's grip to, like, nothing there. Cool. Oh, God. 2 minutes. Ugh. Okay, so, our normal way of doing things, or sorry, I should back up. When we normally reload in the server room, there are 2 soldiers, outside. It's just one we don't normally see at all, because he's off to the right. So basically towards the part of the level that we never go back to. There are 2 soldiers standing in that hallway. Ellen's cut off. Hey, Ellen here.
There's one running every 15 minutes. You just need to get down to one. Take the North Line, 7 stations. There's an entrance directly into the hospital.
You did it! Bravo, Amy! Okay, Amy. We need to get up onto the roof.
No, come on.
You can do it.
No, 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 come on. That one's the worst, because Amy will just go, like, stand in that corner, and she won't respond to, like, calls. She'll just stand there until you go stand right next to, come on, until you go stand right next to her and grab her hand. Oh, it's the worst. It's so bad. Tonight's just not going well. It's been a bad night. It's not been a good night.
That's good. Now wait here. I won't be long.
2 weeks ago went great. It's fantastic. It was a personal best. It went really smooth. Commentary was good. It was a tight night. Tonight's not been a tight night. Tonight's been the opposite of a tight night. It's been a just sloppy night. It's been a night full of rage and anger, and also just like weirdly, I wonder if it's because I left my console idling in the menu of Rango for 2 days, if that's the problem. Maybe if I had actually reset the PS3 before opening Amy, we would have fewer of these, like, it wouldn't be dropping frames so much, you know, stuff like that.
We've got this weird theory we're going over. It looks like the only people who are turning into these monsters are citizens born in
Right, Ellen. I'll ask the next zombie where he was born before he bites me. Be able to cut off the security system. Ellen, it's me. Infection from developing. I think they're metastims. The Phoenix soldiers are equipped with them.
You've been shooting yourself up with those? How many did you take? You must be wired like a Christmas tree, Lana.
How many did I take? As many as I could.
Is going to be serious.
They're real good, Ellen. Don't judge me.
Sleep is the
Don't
last
judge
thing on my
me.
mind right now, Ellen. Have you learned anything?
I know all about you and your OxyContin prescription for air quote back pain. So don't you judge me, Ellen.
Manipulating your genes. I don't know how it works. When it flags a pattern, why it only affects some people and not others.
I have no idea how that one didn't get zapped, but it didn't, even though it was standing inside the zap zone. It was in the zap zone, but it didn't get hit by the zap zone. That upsets me. Many things tonight upset me. All right, Amy.
I'm so sorry to put you through all this, Amy. You're so brave. Thank you.
Oh, is Dog Strong? Hi, Dog Strong. Welcome to my hall of corn and nightmares. All right, I think Amy came with me. Yeah, she came down. Good.
Disconnected.
I didn't have to go back up and get her. I was really sloppy. I'm just bad angle. We're just gonna barrel through. We are hurling ourselves forward recklessly, carelessly. At this point in the night, it's ride or die. It's finish or bust. It's stop, drop in my hand, Amy. It's stop, drop. No. Stop, drop in my hand, Amy. Amy. Seriously, Amy. Seriously. We're gonna have words. We're gonna have a lot of words. And most of those words are gonna be very unkind. They're not gonna be nice words. It's not gonna be like, "Oh, Amy, you did a great job." It's gonna not be that. It's what's gonna be. Amy. All right, good. You didn't lose your powers.
Developing any symptoms?
Amy's telekinetic powers are increasing, Ellen. They're more powerful than her best scores in the center, by at least a magnitude.
I'll need to run a battery of... that she's showing no sign of ignition.
She's become a cure. I'm so proud of you, Amy. You did it. Wait for me, Amy. I'm not going far.
Alright. Crossing the obstacle. It's the farthest we've made tonight. I would say without major mistakes, except we're like 2.5 minutes behind. But that should still put us sub 50. Or sub... Yeah, sub 50. Oh, Amy, are you still over there? You are. That's my fault, actually. I didn't call you before we got on the... Before I got on the platform. So that's on me. Sorry. I'll try to be better about that.
You don't have to worry about the professor anymore. You just need to get to Ellen. I'm taking you there.
Oh, oh, there's a tiny hog. There's a tiny hedgehog. Just came running around the corner and is now peering at me. Hello, Clover. Clover is out for a run. And chapter 3. Hello, where? Oh. She zipped into hiding underneath a chair. Yeah, Amy and Clover can be around each other. We don't leave them unsupervised together for the most part. Amy just watches Clover, like she sits a couple feet away and just watches her. Clover is how is Clover's doing? Okay, she's still a butthead. She's still a very grumpy hog. Who has zero affection for us, still, like, absolutely refuses to be held. And, you know, that's a little disappointing. Like, Annabelle was such a cuddly hog that it's a little disappointing. Like, it's a little sad. But, you know, it is what it is. And come on.
Ellen.
There we go. But no, she's doing all right.
I don't think so.
She's happy and healthy, and that's what's more important than whether or not she wants to sit in our lap.
Okay. I'll keep you
All
posted
right.
as soon as I figure it out.
Whoa. Okay. Oh wow. All right, that got a little touchy there. Don't really know what was going on with the physics, but it is what it is. And we'll just go straight through that, and we'll get stuck on Steve, but we'll get the stem that we need, and we'll slow down to get the stick. And then we'll speed up to get the card so that we don't have to do the card pickup animation. And then upstairs, around the corner. Hopefully this will go all right. And we'll Get 1, 2 good hits on that, Steve. 1, 2 good hits on that, Steve. Nice. Textbook. Textbook. All right. Stim in your neck. Go. And checkpoint. No, come on. No, no, come on. Come on.
Amy, do you see anything? Can you open it? Hurry!
I missed the time. All right, that should be it. No, not quite. Good enough. Hey, what was that on chapter... Wait. Why does my chapter 4 say, like, 6 minutes? No, 36 minutes. Chapter 4...
Ellen?
All right, PB 643. All right, chapter 5, chapter 5, chapter 5. What are we behind by? What are we at? All right. Are we on? Okay, we're on cycle. Okay. Okay. All right, all right. All right, we're gonna do this. Wait, people are speculating on whether or not I'm a secret drama kid? Yeah, I don't know if I would count as a secret drama kid. Like, I don't know if I'd hide the fact that I took drama in high school. Have I hidden that fact? Or maybe it's just something I didn't really talk about. I don't really talk about. It's actually kind of funny is that I like overloaded on my electives wound up being really kind of weirdly spaced. So not enough people signed up for. No, there we go. Like just losing Amy to frame rate drops. I wound up taking basically 2 years of German in 1 year, which then meant that in grade 12, third year, and pause and checkpoint, I had like a whole bunch of free space in my elective schedule, and so I wound up basically petitioning to go straight to like drama 30, which was yeah. So I only took 1 year of drama in high school. Like I didn't have any of the necessary prerequisites, but it's like I mean it's drama, you know, whatever. It was fun. It was a lot of fun. I was in one play. I actually like auditioned for a couple of the other plays throughout high school because they had general auditions, even though all of the people in. All right, so we had 2 tiers of theater class or of drama class. So there was drama 30, or there was 10, 20, 30, but then there was also 10, 20, 30 P, which in the P stood for performance. So the performance kids got priority over like everybody else for, you know, roles in the school play. And in retrospect, I really have, you know, no idea what was up with those P level classes, like why they existed. They just seem kind of weird. It's like, oh well, that's for the kids who like really took drama seriously, and it's like if you met drama kids, like I mean it's theater class at a high school in Calgary, like it's not exactly Juilliard. Alright. Just leaving Amy behind in the sewers. We don't... It's just... It's really just absurdly satisfying to just abandon her in the sewers right there. Like, you got no idea. We're only we're under 2 minutes behind the PB, so we're looking at 46 minutes. That's not bad. Like considering like it just looking at all of the things that went, you know, wrong in this run, 46 minutes. People are calling Worldcon Dublin Dubcon. Oh, that's bad. Do they not know? Do they not know what that means? Or worse, do they know? Oh, I don't know which. Oh no. Oh no.
It's just like a game, Amy. We have to hide and then run. And we can't get caught.
Okay, so Dubcon is a tag that you'll find in like fan fiction or online fiction spaces that stands for dubious consent, which means exactly what it sounds like. It's for stories that are about dubious consent. It's a controversial genre. Your comfort level with it is, yeah. All right, Willem, you're just gonna get dunked. I am not gonna screw this up, like, at all.
Amy, quick, push the button.
Aside. Okay, aside from that whole thing with like the camera just kind of going like who knows where.
Amy, quick, push the button.
Hey, best chapter 6, two new best segments, 4638. I mean, for just an absolute disaster of a run. 4638. That's actually less than 2 minutes. Yeah, so a minute for I'm trying to calculate it and it's right there. It's a minute 42. So a minute 42. A minute 42 over personal best for a fairly disastrous run is it's fine. It's okay. And that's the end of Amy. Yeah, so you hit that guy in the head and it's like, all right, it's just game over. It's just, all right, that's it. That's the first time I finished it, I really kind of sort of wish that I had been streaming when I finally finished it, but it took so long. It took so long. And it was just like the biggest anticlimax to realize that it's like, okay, so the final boss you just do, several times in a row. And so the first playthrough was actually on normal, so you need to do that little cycle that I was doing there. You need to do it 5 times. And so it's no harder. It's no harder than it is on easy. You just do it more times. So it's so repetitive and so just like pointless, and then it just ends. I mean, at least it has a closing cutscene. It's not like it's like, oh, he falls over and it's just like, congratulations, you win. Like, it could be worse. We have definitely played games around here that have even more abrupt endings. But yeah, and then it goes into the sequel hook with Pastor John coming back, and then like during this credit sequence we get all of this art that like was nowhere in the game. So like Amy standing out on the playground, that's nowhere in the game. There's gonna be like okay, so there's this little chapel that's nowhere in the game. There's gonna be a temple that's nowhere in the game. There's gonna be a monster that's nowhere in the game. Everybody, there you go. Classic moments like meeting Marcello for the first time. Yeah, so there's a big old temple complex that's nowhere in the game with these giant marble pillars. That just, yeah. That's a place that's nowhere in the game. That's an unused location. You'll also notice Lana has 2 voice actresses, Sabine Croissant and Yodi Forest. one of them, I don't know which, only does one line, and it's during a cutscene that we skip. There's an enemy that's not in the game, also in an environment that's not in the game, because we don't go into a kitchen at all. Yeah. Do you think this game could have had potential to be good? No. No. No, not really. No. It's... No. 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 Oh, you found a promotional picture on Facebook of a character you have no idea who it is? Oh, that'll be great. Yeah, I want to see that. I want to see that. Yeah, no, I mean... It's... I shouldn't say there's no chance. Okay. The game could have had potential to be good in the sense that, like, there is a theoretical universe where they spent, like, 2 more years working on it. But the thing is, like, just looking at the direction that they were going and the kind of things that were already in place, like all of the story stuff that's already in place, that makes, like, no sense. It's like, that wasn't gonna get better. Like, the voice acting wasn't gonna get better. I mean, unless it's all temp, you know, the environments weren't going to get any less bland. It's not like they were going to go through like another 2 years of development and decide like, oh wait, maybe we shouldn't have a sewer level. Maybe our shopping mall shouldn't blend seamlessly. Like, you know, our path through this shopping mall shouldn't just then go into like an industrial back room, and that's the path to get down to the train, like down to the subway. Like, what? You know, there's a hypothetical universe where this game could have been good, but there's so much that is wrong with it that it's like the trajectory that it was going when they just gave up on making any more game is just so awful. Yeah, that's Willem. That's Willem before he gets changed. I can't remember the character's actual name, but that's the leader of the Institute. We like don't really see him. I think we see him once, sort of, in one of the static, in one of the comic book style cutscenes. All right, Bomber Guy. Amy's bad and you wish it was longer. Now, here's the thing. So, like, Amy, my first playthrough was 8 hours long. Like, it took me 8 hours to get through this thing. It's only 6 levels long. You know, between... figuring out... Not even, like, figuring out how to solve the puzzles, figuring out what the puzzles were. So we're gonna go on an adventure. We're gonna go on a casual play adventure. We're gonna go to chapter 2. And we're gonna run through it. Through the first half. And then we're gonna actually take our time. We're gonna take our time with the second half. There's something that, like, I'm kind of sad at how quickly chapter 2 goes by, purely because I had this whole spiel for the back half of chapter 2 that is just it just blows by too fast for me to like contextualize any of it. So yeah, well, no. Okay, so it was 8 hours. It's archived from the streams. No, so we played for about 4.5 hours on Halloween, and yeah, we made it about halfway through before I just kind of like gave up. and then on like the Saturday after I played it on my own, it took me like another like 3 hours and change to get through the remaining bit. Okay, come on. Actually, all right.
Amy.
Okay.
Oh. I'm pleased I found you.
I'm pleased I found you. Like, it's a completely different voice actor.
Everything's gonna be okay. I promise.
You may notice that voice actor is substantially more francophone than yeah. Oh. Oh, there. Okay, never mind. It went back.
That's a good girl. Bravo.
Okay. All right. All right. Wait, when you say Drake is streaming, you mean Drake the musician, not a this isn't about a streamer named Drake. It's about Drake the rapper. Yeah, the yogurt came after me and then just like left. Oh, cool. Well, that's kind of rad. Drake the star of Degrassi. Okay. We are going to short circuit this first bit, just like we normally do in the speedrun, because it's the part after this that I wanna show off. Okay. All right, we're gonna push that guy. Oh, sweet, we got there fast enough that it hadn't actually loaded, and then he killed us. It's fine. We still hit the So, wait, so Drake is playing Fortnite? Alright, whatever. Okay, so here we are. So we get to this point. Here's the point. This is the point in the game where we got stuck for 55 minutes-ish. So we never go in here anymore. Basically, all that's in here is there's a stick that you can grab, and I think there's a... Oh wait, we can look. Oh wait, no, right. There's just some like DNA that we can scan that's not what we're looking for. This was actually like really funny because we couldn't figure out where the heck even was the DNA we were looking for. So it's this next intersection. So here we have an Amy glyph. Hey, Amy glyph. What does this Amy glyph do? Well, glad you asked. Amy glyph here gives us this power. The Ball of Silence. Now, this Ball of Silence is actually completely useless in the context of the puzzle that we're currently standing in the middle of. Alright, I can't. So, what we have, we come around the corner. We're looking for DNA. We reach this glyph before we actually get to the corner. So what's the game telling us? It's telling us this is important. You're going to need it for whatever's, you know, ahead of here. All right, cool. Rad. Rad and sweet. Great. So what this leads to is this led to about an hour. Not quite. It led to about 50 minutes of trying to figure out what to do at this intersection. So we're going to wait for this guard to go past. So the first thing that we figured out was just like, all right, well, there's a guard down that hallway and the guard insta-kills you. So you probably need to go this way. All right. We've never seen these before in the game up to this point. So what do? We walk through. Now you'll notice we walk through this archway and the tooltip comes up. Select a power with the right stick and release to cast it. All right. So clearly, the power that we have just been given is integral to solving this problem. So we put down the silence bubble and nope, just getting zapped. Now, we know now that you can, in fact, just kind of keep walking, but what initially happens if you're a, you know, cautious player is you hit it and you go like, oh, that's not right. See, and there we died because we hit it too many times. Now, in retrospect, the fact that Amy walks slowly through the lasers should be a clue. However, it doesn't really work as a clue because up to this point, Amy has largely been able to just walk through most hazards completely unharmed. Like, she's so glitchy and special and clearly, like, in a game state where the game is just like, look, we don't want to have to actually handle any of this or deal with it, like, at all. So, Amy's just immune to this crap. Now, you can try walking slowly through the lasers, but you gotta walk, what you actually need to do is walk really, really slowly. Like, absurdly slowly. You can't just walk slow. You gotta walk crazy slow. All right, we're gonna actually push this guy. So there's then this whole area over here where you can, come on. No, is it not gonna let me? All right, he's probably just gonna kill me. There we go. Yeah, Amy also always walks slow. Amy is always like she always walks just so slow that you can't even tell. There isn't really an appreciable difference between her normal, like, wandering around speed and her normal wandering around speed and her going through the lasers speed. In fact, they're probably identical. Like, I doubt there's actually a difference. She just goes, yeah, frick. You can't hide without Amy. Okay. So one of the big things that we spent a lot of time doing was trying to get down that hallway. That it's like, okay, here's the guard. We can use the silence bubble so that, like, the guard won't hear us, you know, opening the door or whatever. And you can actually get, like, really far through this puzzle just kind of, like, navigating around that soldier, but you can't complete the puzzle that's down there. So, all right. So what you are supposed to do is, you know, you come this way. All right.
This is a game for you, Amy. Can you help us out? Amy, you're such a brave girl. We're getting out of here.
So this window right here, so here's the really funny thing. All right, we'll bring Amy with us because we'll wander around this place for a bit. So the one place where you actually kind of sort of maybe do want to use Amy's silence bubble is on this window. The problem is that so there's 2 spawn points in here for Jared's. So one over there, and you can see that Jared coming for us. And then the other one is right here by this rolling shutter. And so if the one's right here by this rolling shutter, it'll aggro onto you the moment you hit the window. The problem is that if you use Amy's silence on the window, there we go. If you use Amy's silence on the window, it doesn't aggro, but you can't actually get past it without it aggroing. Like there is no other stealth mechanic. It's just, well, actually there is kind of another stealth mechanic, but it's not even introduced in this chapter. I don't know if it even functions. I don't think you build infection fast enough in this chapter to even have it matter. Like you, frick.
World has indeed gone to hell. This has all the makings of the apocalypse, and it's something the authorities and the Phoenix Foundation are not.
So yeah, Amy has an ability. You get an ability in this chapter that has no actual purpose in the context of the puzzles that you're presented with. Come on, Amy. Come on. Oh, she's stuck.
It's not going to go away. If you can hear this message, then you're a survivor. You've been chosen to live.
She's stuck again. Come on.
And his church are on your side. The first thing is
Come on.
getting yourselves to safety. We've got food and water, lots of them, and strong walls were designed into this here house of God. If you are alone and afraid, make for the second church of Revelations on the corner of Oak and Vine. Prayer is not going to be enough, my friends. We are at war with true evil. Remember the saying, praise God and pass the ammunition? I think we can all agree that it has become all too appropriate.
Praise God and pass the ammunition. Oh man, it's been so long since I heard this whole thing. Okay, so this is kind of actually like looping back terrain. So if you look at it, like we are now sort of up above the train station where we initially crashed. So it's like this is our train right here, smashed up there. So that's our train. We're by our crashed train. And yeah. But this area over here, there's no reason, there's literally no reason to come over here because you find your DNA bit like right there. So unless you're, I don't know, unless you're just exploring for exploring's sake, you're done before you get over here. So there's more mines. It's clearly an area that there was supposed to be more happening with because it's huge. It's a giant area. And it goes through all the effort of like loading it. But yeah. What is this? What does that say? Canceled. We apologize. Something canceled. Like there's so many of these mines. Oh, look, not going slow enough. I don't even remember what's around here. Oh yeah, it's like, okay, you can pick up some stims. Decontamination syringes. So, yeah, huge area that it needs to specially load in, that there's zero, like there's just a few collectibles, or not even collectibles, there's some resources, there's a weapon, there's stims, that's it. That's it. That's all that's over here. I wonder this door, you know what? I'm going to try this door once we've got all the key cards. I'm curious. I want to know. Inquiring minds want to know. Alright, Amy. Catch back up to me. It'll tell you if a key card opens the door. Oh, right. Yeah, it'll tell you, like, oh, you need the orange key card. So just the fact that it says it's locked. Yeah, okay, so that door doesn't go anywhere. That door doesn't go anywhere. There's a door in Chapter 1 that wants an orange key card. There's also a, there's a wall here in Chapter 2, like back by the, oh, wait, what am I doing? Okay, so I'll show you the, well, right, we were going to go through the sort of normal way-ish. Yeah, we'll let the soldier do his thing. There's a wall here in Chapter 2 that's one of the breakable cinder block walls, except you don't get the power to break cinder blocks in this level at all. Let's see if I can remember how to... Yeah, it's just... Wait, no, okay. How do you do that? How do you get down again? I don't remember how to get down on your own. It's been so long since we've actually even done this room, I don't remember how to get the orange key card solo. What I do remember, however, is this little bit. Okay, so how you're supposed to do this room. Okay, so we put Amy into we put Amy through the vent, right? Then we go up the ladder to the catwalk. We go across the catwalk. All right, all this, yeah. We tell Amy to go stand on the elevator. All right, go Amy, stand on the elevator. Okay. Then we bring Amy up the elevator. All right, we send Amy to let the elevator down. And then we get the orange key card, and I'm going to just use a syringe because, and now that we have the orange key card, we can just walk out of the room. So for a little while, that was actually our strategy. Okay, so now you see that soldier there? So here's the game state if we go. So we'll reload at this checkpoint just so that I can show you all what the what I was talking about with the game state. Because like yeah, we can just abandon Amy back in that room. Of course, like now with the current route, like that's just complete. It's hilarious, but no longer relevant because we just kind of leave Amy wandering in the hall.
John, the scrambler in the server room is starting to show signs of wear and tear.
I really wish there were some way of picking up this green key card without
We just need
triggering
to
that
find
cutscene.
server room, Amy.
I wonder if you could,
We're going to cut
I don't
the
know,
scrambler,
maybe from
and then we
behind.
can call Ellen.
Yeah.
A scrambler is a machine that James
So,
sees.
if we're
Okay,
here,
I'll show you.
so we got this boy here, and we got this boy here. So there are, in fact, two soldiers in this hallway. I find it funny that even when I think I'm going around those puddles, I'm not. I should really just get better at bringing Amy with me into that hallway. Both because you're basically immune to them while you're holding her hand, and also because of her lamp. So, yeah. Oh, there's another... So she gets this glyph, which is just the same glyph again. So we get another silence bubble, which you're supposed to use. Okay. Like here, because of all the glass. So I guess this is the other side of that door, yeah. I mean, like, that could be... I mean, I don't want to say that could be an interesting route, like, or, like, alternate route, but... If that door worked. But... I guess at some point they just decided, like, nah, that's pointless. Just lock it. Also because it involves going into an... Right, no, that's the problem, is it's in an airlocked area. Like, the level, it can't... That door can't open because the chunk of the level on the other side of that door isn't loaded right now.
Not working. It needs power.
Like, just look at this nonsense. Yeah, so you're supposed to use Amy's power, like, right here, and then it's like create a silence spell so you can walk across this without alerting that Jared back there, but the Jared notices, because the Jared is facing this direction. It notices you 9 times out of 10 anyway. It's just so bad and stupid. And then you get into this room, and it's like, okay, look at this room, and just, all right. So we're just in. Okay, all right. The room with all of the phones and the computer hardware in it is not the server room. That industrial-looking piece of crap, that's the server room. So we get into there and we shut off the scrambler, and now our walkie-talkie works so that we can get in touch with Ellen. But the elevators aren't working. There's nowhere out of this building.
Changing. But listen, Ellen, it's a nightmare here. Is there any way you can send someone to get us? The people in my train were infected.
I think Phoenix has something to do with it. The professor has sent out his army. The whole city has been contaminated. We're barricaded in the hospital, trying to figure this out. It's not behaving like a virus. It's not a contagion. It's like there was some sort of spontaneous genetic mutation. The professor has something to do with it, and I just...
Ellen! There's static!
Anna, you need to get to the hospital so that I can run some tests on Amy. We stick to the same plan as before.
We're trapped. The power's out and we're locked in. There are Phoenix soldiers everywhere, and they're after Amy.
Wait a minute, Lana. I've got George here. I'm gonna ask him if he can hack into the station's grid. Maybe locate you.
Amy, it's going to be just fine. Dr. Lavinia is figuring out a way to get us some help.
Lana, we've got you on a map. There's an elevator that should take you up to the shopping galleries. The metros are working. Do you think you can make it to the northbound?
Come on, Amy. We've got another train to catch.
So yeah, so I guess you make the phone call. Ellen's cut off. We're cut off.
There's infected zombies and trigger-happy soldiers everywhere.
I just want to soak this in. I haven't watched all of these in a while.
I'm sorry, Amy. I'm a little overworked. I promised to take you somewhere safe. I keep my promises.
Okay. All right. Ellen's cut off. We're cut off. And then Ellen just like contacts you. I realize that what it's actually saying is that it's like she's physically cut off, but the lead in is all of like the static and interference. It's like I can't hear you. What's going on? And it's just frick. Are the audio channels flipped? Are the audio channels switched? I don't know. They sound about right to me. Is it getting flipped somewhere in No, the ward chat is back in chapter 2. It's in the first little bit. All right, and then chapter 3 we do pretty much as intended, minus a few of the skips that we've built. The skips that we've found don't really do anything. Sorry, I shouldn't say they don't really do anything. They do a lot. They don't skip any story, because chapter 3 blows. 2 stores. So this is like the shopping gallery. We took the elevator up to the shopping gallery, but it's a train station. I hate how much energy I've put into trying to figure out the geography of this awful, awful world. This awful, awful world. Oh, what are we at? It's 11:39. How long? I've been doing this for... This is... No, wait. Yes, yeah, it's 11:39. Don't trust my phone. Phone says it's 9:41. It's not 9:41. Let's go out of bounds. Let's just do that. That's fun. Come on, Amy. Oh, that didn't work. Amy didn't come with me. Alright, we'll do the easy out of bounds for those who haven't seen it. Unfortunately, the out of bounds aren't really of any good to us, as you'll see. So it's pretty easy to get to. You more or less just you more or less just run off the barrier, and then no, come on. Oh, did I not fall into... Oh, there we go. There we go. Okay, so we're out of bounds inside this volume, and we're stuck here. We can't get out. We can't go anywhere. We can't go anywhere fun. We can wander around inside of this volume, and yeah. It was really exciting to find, followed by immediate crushing disappointment. Because it's like, yes, we have found an out of bounds. We can do all kinds of wild and crazy things now. And then just like, oh no, we can't do anything. We're just stuck out of bounds. We're just stuck down here. We can make Lana's head disappear. If we... Yeah, there we go. Okay, come on. No, we can get it. Oh. Come on. Delicate movement. There we go. Goodbye. There we go. Making Lana's head disappear. Yeah. Really useful. Really useful. Not useful at all. Absolutely, completely useless. Does nothing. It's awful. It's awful. I hate this game. I hate this game so much. I hate it. I hate it so much. I hate this. I'm just stick Lana in a corner and wait for her to die. So, tonight went well. I don't really have anything to say. I feel like I'm just completely out of things to say. Next week's gonna go better. Next week's gonna go way better. I think it was just... I was out of practice. I didn't spend any time practicing since I got back. and then things just kind of went predictably pear-shaped, and then they got hilarious. And at the end of the day, like really, really well and truly, at the end of the day, they didn't do too bad. Like 46:38. Like, let's go look at our actual, like long times. Where let's hide these times. So if we go and we add that, week 14, 0, 46, 38. Yeah. So only a minute, less than 2 minutes. So less than 2 minutes over personal best. Still comfortably below 50 minutes. In fact, to this point, I'm actually kind of feeling a little bit weird. So they said it's like, all right, give an estimate of like, 90% completion. And at this point, like looking at this, we haven't, well, okay, no, some of these weeks are multiple runs. There we go. She finally died. Some of these weeks are multiple runs, and so it's like the better of the week. So like week 9, that 48-minute came after a like 55-minute run. But like week 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, like the last 5 weeks have all been, I've only done like one run a night, or sometimes I've done 2, but like they were all sub 50-minute runs. Like I don't think I've done a complete run that came in over 50 minutes in more than a month, like 2 months. So I kind of feel, now I'm feeling a little bit weird about giving them a 1 hour estimate, because I don't know, I guess I can adjust that. I don't feel like that's going to be the deal breaker where they're going to be like, oh, if this was a 50-minute run, but you'd put it as a 60-minute run, I don't think that's gonna be the deal breaker on whether or not they take the game for SGDQ. So this was instructive. This was a good emotional learning evening. I think at one point, like definitely will need to get into a space where it's like being okay with a run going pear-shaped. I used to be really good with that, and then I got bad at it because I started to actually care about like my times and stuff. And I started to like do focused practice. And once I started to actually like restart runs if they went poorly. And once I started doing that, everything went bad. Things were fine, and then the Fire Nation attacked. Or something. Also, I probably should have reset the PS3 instead of leaving it sitting on Rango for 2 days. Yeah. I don't really have anything else to say. I'm rambling endlessly at this point. So I'm going to sign off for my own good. And I do want to say, hey, okay, all right. I do want to say thank you so much. Well, the gamma this week was bad. No, the gamma was. I guess I should explain that. Sorry, I was saying I was going to sign off, and now I'm not going to, because I'm going to explain what's going on there. Okay, so of my 2 capture cards, I'm gonna pull up examples. All right, you're in for it now. Sit down. Because we're going to wait for this to finish loading, and I'm going to show y'all what's going on with the gamma. You can go if you want, but All right. Main monitor. There we go. Okay, so here we got a whole bunch of stuff. So I've got all these samples here. I'll just use these recent ones. So these are from earlier today off of the Xbox 360, which I hooked up over the component cable into my. So I have two different capture cards. I've got an older HD, like SD HD capture card, and I have a newer SD HD 4K capture card. So the newer 4K capture card is the one that I prefer to have all of the different consoles plugged into because it supports dynamic switching in a way that the older card doesn't. The older card gets really, really temperamental. Like if I switched it over to really any other input, it would basically lock up until I reset the computer. It's super obnoxious. But the newer card supports dynamic switching, and you can change resolutions on it really easily without it like freaking out. So I prefer to have the consoles plugged into that one. The problem that I run into is that the PlayStation 3 has high definition copy protection, HDCP, enabled over HDMI by default, and you cannot turn it off. The only way to get around it is you either need to use a device that will strip the HDCP from the HDMI signal, which are technically illegal. So generally speaking, you're actually buying something else, like a HDMI splitter, so like that'll go from like one input out to two outputs. That just happens to be a little poorly made and doesn't properly support HDCP, and so passes along the video signal without including the HDCP carrier. Oops, something like that. Or the other way around it is to just not use HDMI and to use analog video instead, so using component video. So that's been my main strategy. Like we're going over component video here, like with Amy. So all of my PS3 stuff is coming out over component video. So I took the Xbox and I hooked it up to component video, and I then hooked it. So I hooked it up into the 4K card, the HD card. Then I switched it over into standard definition, so composite video. And same thing, did it into the 4K card and then the HD card. And here's the results. So here's the vector scope. So it's the same, basically, it's the same scene, like it's just sitting on the dashboard for, all of them. And so here's the two. Here's the two over composite output. So if you look at the waveform as we flip back and forth between the two, you can see there's some differences that can largely just come down to the fact that the input on the one card is less noisy than on the other card. So I'm not even entirely sure which is which. Also other things, so like some of this noise is going to come down to like signal level noise, and other are going to be just like, oh well, it's just all of these like bubbles and crap in the background, drifting around, are going to cause a lot of these smaller issues. But you can tell like just like these waveforms are basically identical. So that's kind of what you're expecting between two devices that are ostensibly doing the same thing. All right, here's what we get over component video. So here's the HD card, and that right there for a HD component signal is pretty much what you would expect to see. That's what you would think that this is going to look like. And here's the exact same scene, basically the same frame over on the 4K card. And so now this is wild. This is where it gets really, really wild, is that these two waveforms are in fact almost identical. That if we look at even in like the noise profile, they are basically the same. Except the the 4K card is just shifted down 160 IRE. No idea why. No idea why. So it's otherwise an identical signal, just moved, just shifted downward. So that right there is the problem that I've been having. So it's why Amy originally looked just impenetrably black. It's why chunks of Enter the Matrix, like why a lot of the video in Enter the Matrix was like why we couldn't see anything. In fact, there's a lot of games like basically, so essentially for the last year, whenever we've run into a like moment in a game where it's been like, holy crap, I can't see anything. What is going on here? This is way too dark. A solid chunk of that has actually been the fault of my capture card, because what's happening here is that things that are in this range right here, and like this first, what, like 128, 100 some odd IRE, like there's a lot of information here. If you're looking at, so like the avatar, we just have this silhouette of the avatar, and to the naked eye, like if we're looking at this, like it is not, it's not black. Like it's clearly gray. And now it's black. Gray, black, gray, black. So it's the difference between something being kind of shadowy and something being pure black. It ends up being actually a significant difference when you get into like dark spaces. But the thing is that you'll also notice that like all of the like the bulk of the signal, like everything in this area, it looks more or less the same. Like shifting something from 384 down to 256 doesn't really change it. Like if we're looking at all of these greens here, like, yeah, they're dimmer, but they don't really look different. It's mainly like, okay, this gradient. It's the difference between it having a black edge and having a big black stripe. So there. So that's what's going on. Yeah, man, ask workflow. Yeah, go. Workflow question. Go, bring it. I'm tired and I'm loopy tired. Just let's do this. Bring on the workflow. I'm grabbing for a drink that isn't here. But so I have a support ticket in with the capture cards manufacturer, just being like, hey guys, this is broadcast equipment. I paid a lot of money for it. It should be able to handle this. What's up? It's not my input device because I've tried it on 3 different devices now. I've tried it on an Xbox 360. I've tried it on a PlayStation 2. I've tried it on a PlayStation 3. I've tried it on game footage. I've tried it on movie footage. I've tried it on just dashboard footage. It behaves identically across all of them. It's not even customized. It doesn't matter if it's SD footage or HD footage. Like if it's coming in over component video, this is what it does. It is something to do with the component. Do you color your footage and render it before editing? No. Do you edit it all in a program and then take its XML and grade it there, or what? No. Okay, I'll show you. So this will take this will take a minute to this will take a second to load. So what I do is, for my YouTube videos, this will be the caveat, is this is for my YouTube videos and not for what did that come up with? Do you want, no, I don't know why it crashed or what crashed it actually. Book of Henry. All right, so you can only kind of see a portion of it. I can't see chat right now because, well, okay, I'll move a window so that I can see chat. Okay, so I have, because I've got two screens, I have a whole bunch of stuff over on the other screen. In fact, I'll show you. So there's my collection of panels that are over on the other screen. So project, effects, my effects bins, libraries, media browser, all of this stuff kind of like ganged together, and then audio there. I also use these quite a bit. So these preset or customizable workspaces. I use workspaces a decent bit. So here's kind of just how my timelines end up looking these days. So there will be... So this right here is what I do. Is I have this adjustment layer that runs... So what am I saying? Okay. So all of my 2 camera stuff is on V1 and V2. And let's see, let's just find a moment where I like cut from one to the other. Let's go in here. Okay. So one camera shot, the other camera shot, back to the other. And so all of my 2 camera stuff are on these 2 layers, and then I place this adjustment layer that just runs the entire length of it. Now, when I'm working, I usually just kind of have it in as a placeholder, just, you know, to like the first like minute or so, and then just lock the track so that I can, you know, work. And I don't need to like worry about extending it. And so for the most of the time that I'm like cutting, it looks like this, like it looks ungraded. And then when I get to the end of what I'm doing, I extend the adjustment layer down all the way to the end, apply a, let's see if this will work. So then apply Lumetri color effect to it, and then add my input LUT DO Kodachrome riff underscore version 8. Which is the main one that I use for my videos these days, or whichever one I intend on using for that video. I just apply it, and then it applies across the entire thing. Now, in this case, it's like, because the exposure, because I expose properly, like this is actually off by just a little bit, but it's not enough that I think anyone's really going to care. Normally what I'll do, since these end up being, before I've cut them apart, they end up looking like, here we're going to go, all right, new sequence from clip, and then, nope. Oh, wait. No, clear in and out. Okay, so at the beginning, they end up looking more or less like this. That it's like I just kind of like roughly align them with each other, so that I can, and then I can flip back and forth and see, it's like, okay, are there any exposure or like color problems that I need to deal with? Also, then I would, let's grab this, because I tend to lay this down pretty early on. So it's like, okay, I can see how it's playing with both of them, and basically at this point is when I would correct any mistakes. So in theory here, what I should have done is I should have taken cam 1 here, because it's not quite the same. I should have gone with most used, Lumetri color, and then if I drag it here, so if I put Lumetri onto this clip while it's in this configuration, then it will stay with its settings. So I can go, all right, basic correction. Really all I need to do on this is I think bring exposure down like, I don't know, 0.1, 0.2. And then warm it up just a little bit. So exposure, where is my temperature? Nope, that's too much. Like 2. No. Yeah, so like that. So really what I should have done is like that. So now those are pretty much identically matched, and even if I, cut this apart, each portion of it still has that Lumetri effect applied. So it just saves you a bunch of work down the road, because otherwise you need to go through clip by clip, and it's a huge pain in the butt. And you don't want to do that. You want to save time. You want to work faster. You want to work smarter. But yeah. Yeah. No, don't save. So yeah. There's way more information than any of you, or than more than like 2 of you were interested in. This is a waveform. All right. For real though, it's after midnight now. I'm gonna sign off for actual, and probably just like go to bed, 'cause I'm tired. It's late. I hope you all enjoy the corn. Okay, I don't know if anyone has noticed this yet, but I've replaced all of the bits cheers with corn as well. So if you do the bits cheers, it's animated corn. I'm sorry. I am so sorry. Good night, everyone. Say goodnight to your pets.